Hey everyone, this is Tia with FitPro coming to you with the intro video for the new program, Stronger, Faster, Longer, the strength program for triathletes. My cat Snip is determined to sit on me. I've taken multiple takes of this video, so I'm just gonna let him sit here, and if he's too much of a bother, I'll push him off. But welcome to the program. For those of you that I've met before, that have worked with me before, welcome back. Thanks for choosing me for your fitness needs. And for those of you that I haven't met yet, nice to meet you. Thanks for joining the program. I can't wait to meet you and hopefully help you on your strength and triathlon journey. I'm really excited about this program because I really believe in it. You know, going into my background again, for those of you who don't know me, I have been a strength coach since 2010, and I've been lifting weights on and off since I've been like 11 years old, young. I'll spare you all the big details, but essentially I stumbled into the weight room around at age 11 with a little Chuck Norris weightlifting book, and didn't really know what I was doing back then, but I knew that I liked the way that weightlifting made me feel. It made me feel strong. It made me feel powerful. It made me feel energized. It was something to look forward to. It was a great project that I could work on myself. And I realized that, like a lot of athletes, fitness can be a great outlet. It can be a great source of control. You know, when everything else is going wrong in your world, high stress environments, high stress times, you can control your fitness, you can control your effort, you can show up as hard as you want for the workout that day, and that can really turn your day around and build confidence in yourself. And that's what I fell in love with in the weight room. And so I also played soccer through college, and that was my main sport. Through college, I trained more and more, and then I went to law school. I have my JD. I never did practice. I opened FitPro, my business, after I graduated. But through law school, that's when I got my personal training certification. I started training, and from the first moment that I stepped on the training floor, I knew that that was the career for me. I love weightlifting. I have a passion for it. It's one of my greatest passions, and I love paying forward to people the benefits that strength training has given to me. So I'm happy to be working with people that also share another one of my newer passions, which is triathlon. So through law school, I was training a lot, really fell in love with training other people, started my business, moved up to Phoenix from Tucson. And then I became a bodybuilder, and then I became a fitness model, and I really loved the physique, the aesthetic part of the sport. Bye, Snip, you're gonna go down. And I felt like I just reached the pinnacle of that. I felt like I didn't really have any more room to go on that front, and I was looking for the next thing. And then in 2015, my brother asked me to do an Ironman, and that sounded way different, and I love a good challenge, and so I left bodybuilding and went into Ironman. My very first triathlon was a half Ironman. My second triathlon was a full Ironman. So that was in 2017 after a couple of years of training. And from that first race, I was hooked. I loved all the different parts of the sport, how you can be great at one, but there's always more to work on another one. There's so many variables within each race: the climate, the conditions, the temperature, the course, how your body's feeling that day. There's just so much to love about the sport, so much to grow and evolve, and there's never a perfect race, and that just keeps us coming back for more. So I've really come to love triathlon, and I've really started to earn my chops in the endurance world. And so long story short, as I started to mix the two, I realized how important and powerful my weightlifting was to my triathlon performance, especially on the run, especially at the end of a long race. And so then I started training other triathletes on my specialty, which is strength, and adapting my own strength program over the years to suit triathlon, you know, subtracting things like back squats, barbell back squats, barbell bench press doesn't have a huge relevance to triathlon, but split squats, single RDLs, pull-ups, lat pull-down, absolutely. There are huge moves in the strength world that have massive relevance to the endurance world, not just in terms of building actual strength, building muscle, improving technique, improving posture, improving symmetry, preventing injuries, all the stuff that you know by this point. But also, I just found that weightlifting gave me an extra source of cross-training to help me later in the races. By hitting a lift after my hardest run of the week, I noticed that in the races, I always had that extra spark at the end. I always had the last couple miles of my half Ironmans and full Ironmans were my fastest because I had that extra cross training in my training cycle from lifting. So the benefits are huge. There's a myriad of benefits that come from strength training. And, you know, now that I know both worlds relatively well, I know strength really well, and I'm getting to know Ironman more and more. definitely at a proficient level there. I've come to learn how to mix the two, and that's what this program is about, is learning how to leverage the benefits of strength training to elevate your triathlon performance. So that's what we're after. And so what is this program exactly? This program is going to be 4 lifts per week, 4 weeks of 4 lifts per week. Each lift is going to be about 30 minutes. If you know my programs and you know your way around the weight room, it will be a true 30 minutes. If you're newer and you have to watch technique videos, or you have to kind of learn as you go, then it might take you a little bit longer than 30 minutes, but in time you'll be able to get it down to about 30, which is like quick. The way that we do that is by supersets. A superset is 2 exercises back to back with no rest. 2 exercises back to back with no rest. And so we're gonna do total body splits, meaning every muscle group every single session, not like chest one session, back the next session, legs the next session. That essentially creates too much fatigue. In order to minimize our interference with triathlon, we have to minimize the localized fatigue. So total body splits are the way to do that. So total body splits, every muscle group every single day, 30 minutes, 4 days a week, working in supersets back to back. An example of that might be if we do lat pull down and king squats or split squats back to back with minimal rest. You're resting lat pull down while you're working king squats, and vice versa. It's a way to get the adequate rest that is required for strength while you keep yourself moving and get in and get out, because time is precious for us triathletes. You know, when we're in peak training, trust me, I get it. Like, the last thing you want to do is more training, right? So I've come up with this system to really streamline your time in the gym to get maximum benefits with minimal time. So that's the name of the game. By now, since you're in the app, you also should find the initiation document. There's a lot of great information there about just what we're doing, why we're doing it, why it works, what to expect going into your season, how to adjust things going into your season. So make sure that you read that very thoroughly. It's going to talk about reps and sets and how to build, peak, and taper your lifting into season and around key workouts. All that stuff is really important, so make sure that you watch that. Also, I want to say, this should go without saying, but I want you to recognize the limitations that are on a group program like this, right? Recognize the limitations on a group program. I am writing this program. I'm writing one program for all of you, right? One program. And so if something doesn't work for you, I'm expecting that parts of this program might not work for you. Maybe you have a shoulder injury. Maybe you have a unique setup of equipment at home and you can't do everything that I'm prescribing. For whatever reason, some things might not work for you. And I'm expecting that, and I want you to know that, okay? Even though in my materials I can come off as somewhat, demanding, rigid, that's just the tone of any programmer. They write you a program because that's what I want most people to do. But know that if you have to make adjustments, use the Facebook group, write what your modifications that you want to do are, or what your questions are, and I am happy to help. I want to make this work for everybody, for you included, right? So know that even though I'm writing one program, I am expecting that many of you will not fit into this one program. You might need more of this or less of that, or a substitute for this or that. And I need you to be vocal. I need you to get into the Facebook group and ask your questions. This is one of those scenarios where the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I cannot read minds. I do not have the bandwidth to check in with everybody individually. Hey, how's the program going? I've got personal training clients that I see. I've got other group programs. I've got other online one-on-one clients that I see. I train triathlon and strength training myself, and I have a life as well, right? So I do not have the bandwidth to follow up individually. If you have a question, please ask in the Facebook group. I want you to ask questions. I want to help you. It is not a nuisance. It's not an inconvenience. I want to help, right? So ask those questions and I will be there to help you. So also in the initiation document, we'll talk about very basic nutrition. Know that this is not a nutrition program. This is not a weight loss program, okay? So those are not included in the scope of this program. That's too many cooks in the kitchen. That's too many things at once. When you pursue too many things at once, you get a little bit of nothing, right? So this is not a nutrition program. This is not a weight loss program. This is a strength training program for triathletes. So we're working on triathlon and we're working on strength. That's already quite a bit, right? So know that this is not designed to lose weight. This is not designed to have you change your physique drastically. That's my expectation. If you want that kind of stuff, reach out to me one-on-one and we can work together individually on those pursuits. Okay, just want to be clear about that. Next, so this is going to feel different. okay? Like, this program is probably gonna feel bad for triathletes, especially if you haven't done strength before, especially if you're not very good at strength. This program might feel bad. This is like one of the most important things that I can say. You have to stick with it. You have to get to the other side. Stick with the program like this for 6 months or more, okay? 6 months or more. And like, to understand that, flip it back into like triathlon perspective. If you just met somebody who just started doing triathlon and in less than 4 weeks, they were like, I don't like this, I'm not good at it. What would you say? You'd say, it took me years, decades to get to the level that I'm at. You have to be patient, right? So it is the same with strength. It may take you months or years to really develop a feel for strength and what it is and how to move and how to fit it into your routine and what have you, right? So please be patient. Please do not write off strength after just a couple of weeks or even a month or even a couple of months, right? You have to really stick with it and put in the time and pay your dues, just like you have with triathlon, to really develop a good feel for the lifts, right? So be patient, okay? And finally, as far as communication between us, I have not given out my cell phone number. I don't want you to email me. I don't want you to text me. I don't want you to message me through the app. I want all communication to go through the Facebook group. That's just easier for me. Like I said, I have a lot of different obligations within my business alone, let alone my life. Okay, so keep all communication and questions through the Facebook group. That way other people can see it and they can see the response, and just in case they might have the same question, but also to help me to streamline my communications, because I'm just super busy and it helps me to have everything in one place. Okay, so all communication through the Facebook group. I think that's everything. I don't have anything else on my notes, so I'm gonna get out of here and wrap this up. If I think of anything else, I will add it to the Facebook group and the initial posts in the first couple of days. And so if anybody has any questions after watching this and reading the initiation document, if there's some massive hole in the information that I forgot to cover, please let me know. And also, that being said, you know, there's going to be mistakes in the programming. Sometimes I might miss a rest interval or I might mistype something. Please be kind. Mistakes do happen. You know, it's just a typo. If you see a mistake in the materials, please feel free to just post it in the Facebook group and I'll correct it up as soon as I can. You know, shit happens. I'm a real person too. So I think that's everything, everybody. I want to just say welcome again. Thank you guys for joining the program. I'm really excited about this. I hope that you get what you're looking for out of this. And in order to get what you're looking for, you do have to stick with it. You really do have to apply yourself. Don't miss lifts. Don't cut them short. Don't modify unless you absolutely have to. Try to stick with it as much as you can, as written as much as you can, through the 4 weeks and beyond, because it will take a little bit of time. Be patient with yourself and expect it to feel different. That is okay. If it feels different, you're probably doing it right. If it feels like cardio, if it feels like endurance, you're probably not doing it right. It should feel different, okay? It should feel different. Intramuscularly, it's very different. Intracellularly, within your body, the mechanisms that are happening are very different. So if it feels really different, that's correct, okay? Okay, guys, hope you have enjoyed the video. Hope that you've gotten what you needed out of it. I gotta stop fucking talking and get out of here. Welcome to the program. Welcome aboard. Let's get to work.